What I'm saying, right has so many different opinions. Right? So I am neither saying it is right nor saying it is wrong. I'm just saying that the same situation can be seen by different dimensions, and the question remains, what is right in that? Whether that is right, or what is right. So in order to answer these questions in life, Shastras talks about dharma. Dharma loosely translates, one of the many meanings of dharma, one of a narrow meaning is righteousness also. Loosely it can be translated. So the answer to this question is, many of the scriptures are framed so that we can get answer of such questions whenever we get confused in life. What is to be done in this given situation? Then the answer is dharma. People say follow dharma. What is dharma? Anybody of you would like to answer that? Quick. Yes. Consciously done righteous act. Set of values that uphold the society. Very nice. What else? Do unto others what you want to be done. Perfect. What else? Dharma means dharma. Yes. Anybody else? The right way. Perfect. So, dharma comes from the root dharyati iti dharma. Something which sustains everything is dharma. Anybody from Bihar? So in old Bihar houses, there used to be a dharana, a wooden block which used to take the complete burden of the house. Whole weight of the house will depend on that block of wood. So something which sustains everything is dharma. Because of which everything sustains is dharma. So in simple English, dharma is the natural order of the universe. What we are talking is, how will I decide what is right? So the answer is follow dharma. Then what is dharma? Dharma is the natural order of the universe. An electron revolves around the nucleus, it's natural order. If I pick this pen or phone, and if I lose it, if I leave it, it will fall down, gravity pulls down, it's its dharma. So everything has a dharma which you call as a natural order. So how Shastras, scriptures of India defines dharma is a natural order of the universe, is dharma. A body has a natural order. Like after sunset, there is nothing in the body which can help to digest the food you are eating. So if you are eating after sunset some solid food, you are not aligning yourself to the dharma. So what we are doing is we are defying dharma of the body. And as they say, dharmo rakshati rakshata. If you will align yourself to dharma, dharma will protect you. But if you won't align yourself to the dharma, the same dharma will destroy you. So when we don't align to the dharma of the body, the same thing will start destroying you. So dharma, there is a dharma of the body. What time one should get up? Anybody? What is a good time to sleep? Again the question is, what is the right time to sleep? 9 p.m. Whenever you feel sleepy. Yes. You should sleep in night, and whenever you feel is night, you can sleep. Sunset. What else? 10 o'clock. What else? Whenever you get time to sleep. Whenever you get opportunity to sleep. Look, even a small question, what is the right time to sleep, has so many answers.
There's so many perspectives.
Exactly. So is there no answer which is universal? And that is what dharma tries to answer. Is there any universal answer of what is right, or it is perceptual? So if it is perceptual, so where were you born and which country you are in? Like for example, if you are born in Israel, You will grow up listening the stories of atrocities of Philistine against them. And if you are born in Philistine, you'll grow up with listening the stories about how Israel attacked on them. So is it that related, or is there something which is absolutely right? Or we are left to remain confused in life? So there is a science called circadian rhythms, you all know about it. It says that a particular hours after sunset, brain generates melatonin, which is the hormone that tells you to sleep. So generally, like in India, it is 9:30. After sunset, around 9:30 p.m., the brain starts generating that. So it depends on when the sun is setting. So brain is telling you now the time of sleep has started. And generally that secretion of that stops at 4 a.m. in morning. So afterwards it gets reduced. So generally your body is telling you to sleep at 9:30 and get up at 4 around. This is the dharma of the body. Now it's your choice. If you follow it, good. Dharmo rakshati rakshati. If you will protect the dharma, if you will be aligned with the sleep system will protect you. But if you choose not to align to dharma, the same sleep system will destroy you. Today you are not sleeping in time, tomorrow you will try to sleep and sleep will not come. It will start destroying you. No, why not?
So when you're seeing the circadian rhythm and all, there are people who are night owls and there are people who are early birds, right? So for each one of them, their rhythm will be different.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So how does one understand what is the correct rhythm of them?
So
Which is not dependent on just work, but the natural rhythm.
the point is, this particular system is not made by default to be awake in night. You, by the virtue of your age and profession, may cultivate a habit of waking up till late in night. And because you have cultivated a habit, out of habit, your body may function. But when you are young, when you are strong, probably you may sail through it, but the repercussions will come. Because even having understood you are night owl or dove or whatever, this system or this life is only 70 years old. But the habit of sleeping after a few hours of sunset is 2 crore years old. So our brain is following that system. Our DNA follows that since last 2 crore years. So in just 70 years, you can't defy the natural order. And that's why it is okay if you would like to wake up till late in night because you can focus and concentrate. The repercussions will come in later years of age. Because this instrument is not made to remain awake in night. So, yes.
So I think sleep is linked to the sunset, sunrise, but with the advent of electricity,
That's true.
there is a change.
Exactly. Human brain has never been more confused in last 10,000 years the way it is confused. In last 150 years since this artificial suns are being created. So brain and eyes, they had a link. Eyes used to tell, now it's dark, and brain understood. And the secretion happens of melatonin and you go to sleep. Now eyes are saying that still there is light. And brain is accustomed since last 2 crore years that now you should sleep. So the order is disturbed. And that's why you will find sleeplessness has become the biggest issue in last 5,000 years. The reason is this: we are not aligned to dharma of the body. So dharma of the body is called biology. What is biology? We learn what is the dharma of the body and you align yourself to the dharma of the body and your body will remain fit for long. Similarly, dharma of a physical object is called physics. What is physics? It is dharma of the material. How matter works is dharma. Similarly, dharma of chemicals is called chemistry. How elements will get connected to each other. So physics, chemistry, biology are dharmas of their own respective science. Dharma of the celestial bodies is called Yes, astronomy. So everything is following a dharma. And because everything is following dharma, that's why things are sustained. Imagine, like we say, I am not feeling like getting up in morning. The electron one day feels that I am not feeling like revolving around the nucleus anymore. It's boring. It's repetitive. Everything will be collapsed. Everything is following its dharma. So dharma of a material body is physics. Dharma of cell is chemistry or maybe biology. Dharma of chemicals is chemistry. Similarly, dharma in society is called ethics. What is ethics? Dharma of the society. Make sense? So dharma is the natural order of the universe. I travel across the planet, I meet people, and there are many part of the Europe where big number of population does not believe in God. Fine. And you ask, why don't you believe in God? And there are many people that don't believe in God. In Europe, the number is growing. People don't go to church, temples, or any place of worship. You go and ask them. I'm telling my own experience. You go and ask them, when people say, I don't believe in God, then ask them, what is God? Question to you. Quick.
The power which we don't know.
Power which we don't know. True. What else?
Moral order.
Yes. Moral order. What else? The source. Your faith. That sustains life. What is God? Because the moment you say, I don't believe in God, this question comes obviously, what is God that you don't believe in? Because we need to agree on the definition of God, then only we can decide whether you believe in that or not. So what is God? Go ahead.
Universal consciousness.
Perfect. Universal consciousness. Anybody else? Scripture says God are the natural laws that governs the universe. So universal intelligence is Ishwara. Ishwara is the universal intelligence. Those laws which governs dharma. So dharma is the natural order, but there must be some laws that order is following. Those natural laws is Ishvara. Those natural laws are Ishvara. Now we have two definitions. What is dharma? Natural order. And the laws of the nature is Ishvara. So Ishvara is universal intelligence. Now ask people, you don't believe God. Who is God? What is God? Then people will say, I don't believe in any person with beard sitting over there writing my destiny. Fine. Then you ask them, okay, fine then. What do you believe in then? People will say, I believe in myself. I believe in myself. Have you met such people? They say, I don't believe in any power outside. I believe only in myself. Swami Vivekananda says the person who believes in himself is the biggest astic. Because what the scripture says? Tat tvam asi. You are that God. This is what whole Indian scriptures talk about. If you need to conclude whole 10,000 years of Indian civilization in 4 books, then the books are Vedas. If you want to conclude whole 4 books of Vedas in 3 words, then the word is Tat Tvam Asi. You are that. So the moment you say, I believe in myself, scripture says, yes, you are astic because you are that. You are that. You are that God. So the point is, the moment you say, I believe in myself, actually you are declaring Aham Brahmasmi. You don't know about it probably. Some people say, no, I don't believe in any God outside. I believe in humanity. And then ask that person, what is humanity? Then the person will reply the same thing what he said. Don't do unto others what you don't like for yourself. It means follow the natural order. What is natural order? Natural order of the thing, the society is called ethics. This is what is the ethics says. Yes, don't do to others what you don't like for yourself. This is what is ethics. So what he is saying is dharma. He believes in dharma, but he doesn't know this is dharma. That's why when wrongly it is defined, then people feel away from dharma. Some people say that I don't believe in anything which I can't see. You can't see even quarks, can you see? You can't see even vibrating strings within us, but it exists. So the point I want to bring home is, dharma is the natural order of the universe. Ishwara is the laws that govern that natural order. Now, dharma in society is called ethics. So far is clear? Now let's go further. Dharma in society is called ethics. So there are three kinds of dharma that works in society. First is called Samanya Dharma. Samanya Dharma. Second is called Visesha Dharma. And third is called Guna Dharma. I repeat. Samanya Dharma in English is called ethics. Visesha Dharma in English is called morality. And Guna Dharma in English is called character. And you add these three. Ethics plus morality plus character equals to integrity. The moment you say that he is a person of great integrity, what does that mean? He upholds ethics, he follows morality, and he is a person of great character. It is integrity. With me so far? Now the further complication comes. Many times in life, we confront a situation in which we don't understand what is to be done. Let's go one by one. First we will study Samanya Dharma, then we'll go for Visesha Dharma, then we'll go for Guna Dharma. So let's talk about Samanya Dharma. Samanya Dharma is what? Can anybody tell me? What is Samanya Dharma? It's called ethics. Can you try to define it? Water? Can I take your speech? Thank you. Anybody would like to define what is ethics? So, thank you. What is ethics?
Behavior that is acceptable to society.
Okay. Anybody else?
Right thing to do.
Right thing to do.
Something which is good for most of the people.
Very nice, very nice. Anybody else? What is Samanya Dharma? Ethics, huh? Honesty. Anybody else? What you do when nobody is watching you. Nice. What else?
What you do doesn't hurt anybody.
What you do that does not hurt anybody. So, the definition of Samanya Dharma or ethics is those universal values that are applicable to all in all the situations at all the places. I repeat. Those values which are applicable to all. Whether you are Indian or Pakistani doesn't matter, whether you are Palestinian or Israeli doesn't matter, applicable to all. At all the situations, at all the places. This is called ethics. Like even if you are fighting a war and you say that everything is fair in love and war, no. No. There is something called Geneva Protocol. How many of you have heard of it? What Geneva Protocol says? If that person is fighting a battle against you and you caught that person, you treat him well. Because he does not have any personal problems with you. He is not fighting for his own personal revenge against you. He is following his own dharma. He is paid by the military of that country. He has taken his life from that country. He was nourished from that country. He is fighting for that country. No personal agenda against you. So Geneva Protocol says you respect that person also. Yes, go ahead. That's true, and we need to realize this, and we need to promote this, that the virtue of Indian values are this only. Whether you follow or not, that's a different thing. But this has been again and again established by Dharma Shastra and various scriptures. So the point is, what is Samanya Dharma applicable to all, in all the situations, at all the places? Now let me ask you a question. Then there are many ethical dilemmas in life. There was a country, their plane was hijacked. And when their plane was hijacked, those hijackers are asking to free 10 criminals and 10 terrorists against the life of 250 people. If they don't release those 10 terrorists, those 250 people will be blown. What do you think, being the Prime Minister of the country, you would like to do? Let me put it this way. On one side, you have 250 lives. On another side, you have lives of those soldiers who gave away their life to catch those 10 terrorists. So now, what will you do as a Prime Minister? Again, what is right to be done?
Are you playing the Trojan horse thing?
Okay.
Where we try to say, okay, I'm releasing them,
Okay.
but get them back.
You'll send your Mossad for that, is it? Go ahead.
Who is the Prime Minister of which country? Israel never allowed, the exchange of
Perfect. So here you see, it's an ethical dilemma. Here there is an ethical dilemma. What should I do? At times the choice in life is not about what is right and what is wrong. The choice life offers you is being less right or more right, or less wrong or more wrong. At times both of the decisions are wrong. And what should you choose is being less wrong than being more wrong. At times this also happens. Exactly. So the question comes, how will I decide in that situation? So now I'm giving you 30 seconds to think about a situation in your personal life when you had an ethical dilemma. You somehow were confused what is right in that situation. You don't need to share it with me. I'm going to tell you 5 questions which are based on ancient Indian scriptures that you should ask from yourself to get exact answer in that situation, what is right. So for that you need to get into that situation. Don't worry, you don't need to share that situation because your dilemma may be sitting next to you. Fine? So you don't need to share it. Let the dilemma be seated next or right or left to you. Just go in that situation where you confronted a situation where it was so difficult for you to decide what is right. When was the last time you felt that problem? Or if you need to take a decision right now even, think about it. Giving you 30 seconds. I'll drink water. Think of a situation. When was the last time you felt a dilemma? What is right? How many of you are in that situation? Can you raise hands? And if a person is there who never faced dilemma, please bring that person here. We all will respect and bow down. Maybe that person is the next Kalgi avatar. Fine. Because avatars, when they happen, people don't get to know about them initially. So maybe avatar may be seated here. Fine. So all of you are there in that situation? You could think of any situation? When the last time you had this question? Now ask 5 questions from yourself. Think of that situation and ask question number 1. Is my intention pure? Whatever you're doing, ask the first question. Is my intention pure? And this answer can come only from your own conscience. Nobody can answer this for you. Because wrong things you can justify, you may not appreciate it. You can justify anything. But whatever comes from within, first, is your intentions pure? Up to your understanding. Up to your... No, the point is, whether your intentions are pure or not, is a thought that comes from very within core of you. Fine. When it comes to a psychopath, we need a separate treatment for that. I will create different questions for that psychopath. Fine, because these questions which I am telling you are for Samanya people. Samanya Dharma for Samanya people. Have I? Pure intentions means up to your understanding, you are doing it for right reasons. Your intentions are absolutely pure. You are not saying something, doing something and thinking something else. Fine? That's what is needed. That's what is needed. If you feel my intentions are absolutely pure in that, fine? And if that answer has to come from within. If you feel, it is. If you don't, it is not. Fine? But like for example, you may answer, as I told you, there are many things you can appreciate, but you cannot justify. Like for example, you are seated like this, in any class, a voice comes from you that in a class you should not sit like this. You may justify many reasons. No, I'm tired, I have to sit like this. That's a different ball game, but that voice is coming, it's not appropriate. Fine? So when you listen to that subtle voice that comes as an answer of this question, click to this voice. And the better way in psychology is first thought is right. The first thought is right. Don't go much into it. The moment you say, is my intentions pure? If answer is not coming straight, it means it has some adulteration. But if answer is coming straight, the voice is very loud when your intentions are correct. So go for first, second, means not more, don't elaborate in that. First thought is right. Stick to the first thought. Ask yourself, is my intentions pure? And if the first thought is right, yes, go ahead. That's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. The point here is, if from within you this voice comes, it is correct. Second point, whether it is in interest of majority or it is in only your interest. The second question. Whatever decision you are taking, is it in the interest of the majority of the people or is it only in your selfish interest? This is the second question. Think and keep answering yourself. Whatever decision you took or going to take. Third question. Is up to your understanding, its long-term repercussions be good or not? Right now you're liking it, that's why you're doing it. Fine. But what do you think, up to your understanding at this moment, whether its long-term repercussions will be good or not? People who do corruption, at that moment they're liking it. People who don't take care of the body, at that moment they're liking that comfort unnecessarily. But the long-term results are not good. You know that. Fine? Fourth, is it sustainable? If it is that right, if all 8 billion people on the planet will start doing the same, whether the planet will sustain. If it is that right, everybody should do it then. Yes? If it is that right, everybody should do it. If everybody will start doing it, will it be sustainable? Fine. And the last question. Acceptable. If somebody else will do the same to you, will you like it? Got it? So out of these 5 questions, if your answer comes no, if the answer is yes in all those 5 questions, your intentions are correct, it is in the interest of the majority, its long-term results are good, if everybody will do the same thing in the situation, planet will sustain, and the last is, if somebody will do this to you, you will like it, go and do it. You will never repent on it for sure. You go and do it. You will have a peaceful sleep. Whether you will earn profit or not, that's a different ball game. But you will for sure have a peaceful sleep in life. And if the answer is no for all those 5 questions, then also rest assured, nobody can save you then. Nobody can save you. Swami Vivekananda said, good, good, bad, bad, and none escape the law. If the answer is no of all those 5 questions, it is buying a surprise gift for ourselves. We are bound to repent for that. Yes, so the percentage, for example, if 3 answers is yes, it means 40% it is not the right karma. So 40% you are going to, there are chances you will suffer out of it. So these are the 5 parameters. If you are confused that what is Samanya Dharma in that situation, ask these 5 questions. Whatever comes as a result, go ahead without doubt. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, but it's just giving me more questions. So when you're saying this, like if you're doing good, it is good. If you're doing bad, it is bad, right? But generally what we see in the society, people who do good or who follow Dharma are the ones who are facing more troubles than the people who are doing bad or going against Dharma. They are living very nice lives.
Very
without
nice
any
question.
tension and
Thank you for raising this question.
Thank you, Nehal.
So the point is, one thing, this thing that people who are doing good, they suffer more. The same question happened, this question was asked by Yudhisthira in Mahabharata. So once the battle of Mahabharata was over, all Pandavas and Kauravas, when they died, Yudhisthira was taken to hell. And Yudhisthira found all 4 Pandavas suffering in hell. So Yudhisthira started tears of cry that Pandavas are suffering. And what you said, Pandavas are suffering. So he said that good people are suffering. Yudhisthira said that if my brothers are in hell, I will choose to remain in hell. And then Chitragupta Maharaj, the accountant, replied, you look at the life of these Pandavas. They have done so many good works, but they have done few wrong deeds also. Because their wrong deeds are less in number, to exhaust those wrong deeds, we will put them in hell primarily, but because they have lot of good deeds, permanently we are going to ship them in heaven later. So when you do good, initially you suffer. When you prepare for a big exam, initially you suffer. But then long-term heaven is blocked for you. Yudhisthira said, okay, fine, looks logical. And then he said, Chitragupta, that you don't worry, they are also going to be there. Soon they will be going to shifted in heaven once those papas are exhausted. Then this Yudhisthira is taken to heaven. And Yudhisthira has tear of blood seeing that Duryodhana was having grapes in heaven. पांडव नरक में सड़ रहे हैं और दुर्योधन स्वर्ग में बैठ के अंगूर खा रहे हैं, यही आप पूछ रही हैं? ठीक. तो युधिष्ठिरा said, धरती की तरह यहां भी सब खत्म हो गया? Chitragupta said no. I'll come to your question. Chitragupta said no. Absolute justice is done. See the life of Kauravas. They have done lots of wrong deeds, but they also have done few good deeds. In order to exhaust their good deeds, immediately heaven is allotted to them. And permanent hell is booked for them. So people who do wrong deeds, they get immediate heaven. Whether you procrastinate, immediate heaven. You get immediate heaven, but permanent hell is booked. Physical heaven, financial heaven, physical hell, financial hell, any hell is booked. Permanent hell is booked. So in that case, Chitragupta added further, you know why the system is like this? People who do wrong deeds get immediately heaven, and people who do right deeds get immediately hell, and later on they shift. People who do wrong deeds, we give them immediately heaven, and we permanently later shift them in hell. Do you know why the system is like this? Because when you get shifted from heaven to hell, you suffer more. When you are such a big Baba and you are in Tihar jail, you were in heaven, now you are in hell, you suffer more. When you were CEO of MD of such a big empire, and now you can't even enter in India, and the moment you go and see a match somewhere, people say chor chor, it kills you. Because you have seen heaven. Now you suffer more. So the point is, the stories we don't follow completely. When I say stories we don't follow, we see that those people who are getting down from big cars, living in luxury bungalows, they are happy. No, happiness has got nothing to do with luxury. You can suffer in BMW, you can suffer in Ferrari also. Suffering has got nothing to do with that. Yes, you know this. But because our analysis only sees the material aspects of their life and the actual aspects of their life, they will never share with anybody. What are their sufferings of life, they will never share. And we don't know about it. What we see is their Ferrari and their bungalows. And we see, look, in spite of doing everything, they are happy. No. You you check their whole life, you'll find enormous suffering, which they will never share with you. Have I answered you? Fine? Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, is it true that the hell and heaven concepts are Western, from the Christianity and all?
The point is, heaven and hell, Shastras mention stay here. At the same place, in the same house, one person lives in hell, another lives in heaven. It's a choice. It's a choice of our own actions. So it is here. The kingdom of God is here. It is here. So the point is, like for example, that Viceroy who looted India like anything. When there was a famine in Surat, he was minking money from India and he took all the money to UK. And when he went to UK with all the money, he became so rich that he was among the richest person in Europe that time. That he was the Viceroy, he was that governor of Bengal, I'm forgetting his name. And if you remember, please tell me that name. Clive. So, then what happened is, he became richest among the richest people in Europe. Then, but you read about his life, what happened finally? Can you tell me what happened to him? He himself cut his throat. He became insane. So what I want to bring home is, we don't know enough about the lives of the people. We just glance the things that we can glance. And that's why we feel they are happy. Fine? Let's go further now. So, we discussed what is ethics. 5 questions for ethics. And if you follow, don't worry. Things will be perfect. And if you don't follow, don't worry. Nothing can ever be perfect. So, don't worry in any case. Fine? This is what is ethics. And the result and the benefit of being ethical is purity of consciousness and good sleep. Happy. Within that you did what you felt is correct. But it is a small part of it. The bigger part of it is the second part. Ethical is small. But the second is what we call as Visesha Dharma. What is that? Morality. Problem lies here. Ethical decisions are easy to take. Moral decisions are difficult to take. So can anybody tell me what is morality? Ethics we defined. Applicable to all, at all the places, at all the times is ethics. Irrespective of your religion, nationality, continent or planet. That is ethics. And 5 questions to know what is ethically right. But the second dharma is Visesha Dharma. It is called morality. Can you tell me what morality is then? Non-violent. Okay, anybody else? Look, let me tell you a few examples of ethics. All those things of human values, truthfulness, non-violence are ethics. It's applicable to all, at all the places. Now talk about morality. What is morality? Morality is Visesha Dharma. Yes, you're right. Elaborate on that. Morality is context specific, relationship specific, situation specific is called morality. Like for example, morality means those dharmas, those duties which are applicable to you till you are in that role. If you are a husband, then you have those duties towards your wife. But the moment divorce happens, you don't have any duty towards her. And vice versa. So till you are in that job, you are bound by those laws of that job, standard operating procedures. But the moment that job you resigned, that won't bound you. Make sense? So what is morality? Context specific, role specific. Like for example, if you are father, you have all the responsibility towards your son, but the moment आपने हाथ में जल लेके disown कर दिया, आपने संन्यास ले लिया, now you take no. Now you are free from that moral responsibility towards him. But ethical responsibility will remain. Ethics you can't abandon. Morality is job specific, role specific. Make sense? Now let me ask you a few questions. Because bigger dilemma in life is moral dilemma, because ethical dilemma is easy to deal. Now let me pose few questions to you. So this lady is the CMD. I request you not to mention any names. Fine? Is it live telecast? Yes. All the more, don't mention. Perfect. This lady happens to be the CMD of a bank. Chief Managing Director, CMD, Chairman and MD of a bank. Her husband happens to work in another company, multinational. Now she is the banker and husband works in another company. Now husband's company needs some loan. And up to your best acumen, you know that loan will become a bad debt. You won't be able to recover that loan if given. But husband is saying, come on, you are my wife, if you will not support me, who will support me then? Now there is a dilemma between two roles. One role is being CMD, another role is being a wife. So when you know it for sure that this loan will not be repaid, probably there are chances. It means it is not a right financial decision to take at least. Has he not been my husband, I would not have given loan, you know this. But now husband every time while lunch, dinner, breakfast is telling you, what is the use of those 7 feras? Remember that Agni. The moment you go in front of him and he'll light an Agni to remind you of that Agni. And the oath we took for each other. What should you do then? What should you do then? Would you like to, should you help your husband? Or should you be loyal to the profession you are in? Relation or profession? It is so easy to say, but it's so difficult when you are in that situation. Yes, relation or situation. Let me put another case. You are a young police officer, recently inducted at a very senior position. You gave a good exam, you are a lady, and suddenly COVID broke in. And now you are ordered to go in the field to assure that there should not be casualties. People should remain in home because you're a police officer. But right now, you are a mother also, and you have 1-year-old baby who lives on your feet, mother's feet. Now, if you feed the baby, you cannot go out in COVID situations. And if you go out in COVID situations, you can't feed your baby. What should you do? What should you do? Again, it's a moral dilemma. Two roles conflicting each other. What should you do? Haji? Take leave. Sick leave.
Or assign people on the way, no? So you can do both together.
So this lady, so in many situations, like for example, this happened to this person also called Ratnakar. He was a dacoit and he used to loot people. But then Saptarishis were going and he tried to loot at those Saptarishis. Then Saptarishi says that you are doing so much bad deeds and it will earn lot of papa to you. You will suffer in your life. So he said, no, it's my duty, it's my moral duty to feed my family. Then those Saptarishis asked, the wrong deeds you are doing to feed your family, go and ask whether your family will share in your pap karma. So then he went and asked his mother, his wife, that I am doing lots of pap karma to feed my family. Will you share my pap? What was the answer? Very convincingly, people said, no, no. Ah, yes, wife said this only. No, I'm not going to share your pap. But then he said, but I am doing it for you. And then he said, look, we had an oath during that Saptapadi ceremony that you will share life, we will share life together. Then wife replied, there is no oath in those 7 oaths that we'll share pap together. There's no oath. Your pap belongs to you. And what you earn belongs to me. Whatever. It really shook him that yes, my actions, I am responsible. Nobody else. So finally, that shook him to the core and he became, as you rightly understood, sage Valmiki. So what I want to bring home is, moral dilemmas kill people. Arjun's dilemma is what? Moral dilemma. Whether he sees enemy or Pitamaha is a moral dilemma. Shakespeare's Hamlet, how many of you read it? To be or not to be is a big question. What should you do in life? How many of you have faced such moral dilemma? Where in-laws or in family, you are conflicting in 2 roles. You are stretched in 2 roles and you are so much stressed as if you will be torn into pieces. How many of you have seen such things? Yes? Yes. Professions, there are some professional in-laws. Professional outlaws. Yes?
Just an observation, it's very interesting that when you were talking about ethical dilemma and then when we were talking about moral dilemma, how when we over here it was mostly taking into like roles of women and how things are happening.
Yes.
Where it doesn't happen.
I counted number of gender ratio. The session is adjusted to the gender ratio. If there would, so if there, I would have flipped the case studies if the gender ratio would have been otherwise. So there are many such moral issues. So this gentleman, his name is Adolf Eichmann. Can you tell me what you know about Adolf? How many of you heard about him? Adolf Eichmann. Yes. Exactly. He was in charge of that concentration camp which killed Jews. So, for your information, after Second World War, there is not a single document ever found in Germany where Hitler signed over any order for concentration camps. Hitler never ever given a written orders to persecute Jews. Written orders are not there. So this World War was over, Hitler killed himself, and this gentleman who was in charge, Lieutenant Colonel of that concentration camp, smoothly got superannuated and shifted to Argentina for his post-retirement life. Israel as a new nation wanted avenge. And then they thought at least one person we should catch, put him to the judicial process and should be punished. At least this nation deserves this. This is what they thought. And there is a famous movie all that also. What is that name? Huh? No, I think there's some else's name, something else. Okay, doesn't matter. Huh? It's a very good movie, yes. So they caught him. Adolf Eichmann was airlifted alive by an operation of Mossad and he was brought to Israel. And in the court, he was asked, didn't you have any compassion killing small kids or elderly people? They were not at all threat to you. You burned them alive. You snatched their skins alive. How could you do this much? Can you tell me what he replied? Because it's $1 million question. What must be in the mind of that person who was actually doing it, getting it done, assuring that it is done? What he replied was the next day, front page news of the newspaper across the planet. What Adolf Eichmann said, why did he stoop so low in humanity and did all that? What did he reply?
Followed orders.
Excellent. Balaji, thank you very much. He said, I was just following orders. Period. Then the big discussion happened. Again, you see the conflict. Now this is a more subtle conflict. It is ethics versus morality. As an officer, moral duty is what? To follow your seniors. But what is the ethical duty? Humanity. So he said, I was just following the orders. And then it led to a great discussion across the planet. What was that discussion? Is there any limit of following orders, or you can go any level following the orders? And you know this? Most criticism happened of this act was in United States of America. United States of America said that what kind of people these German people are. When I say USA said, means a big voice came from USA condemning Germans that they can stoop so low. And then there was a professor. The name of the professor is Professor Milgrams. He did a great experiment, and that experiment shook the world. Let me tell you that experiment. What was that experiment? But before I tell you the experiment, I will explain you that experiment. So I imagine I am the professor, fine, and I am doing the experiment. I am a professor from a very big university. So the experiment was like this. I will give you $100 as a part of my experiment, but you need to give electric shock to innocent people. How many of you are ready to do that? I repeat, I am conducting an experiment as a professor. I'll give you $100 and you need to give electric shock to innocent people as a part of that experiment. How many of you are ready to do this? Okay, $1,000. Inflation added. Okay, 1,500? 2,000? 5,000? Okay. Now let me change the question. Yes, good question. So the electric shock will range from 50 watts to 440 watts. 440 means it will kill the person, for sure. Fine. How many of you are ready? Okay, fine. All gods are seeing, nobody can raise hands. Perfect. Good. Now, now let me ask you another question. If a person is ready to do this, you are not ready to do this. But if a person who agrees to do this, what kind of person that may be? Psycho. Yes. What kind of person that may be? Greedy and heartless. Psychopath. And what else? Desperate. Retarded, retired, whatever. Perfect. This was the hypothesis of that experiment. Exactly this. The hypothesis was that person would be a psychopath who will agree to this. Now what I am sharing with you will shake you to the core. Experiment was conducted. All people, when the research was conducted, said no, nobody will agree on this. But when the experiment started, then what was the experiment? So I am a professor, fine. And you, for example, he is the teacher. And then this, okay, fine. So it was like this. I am professor, I will sit here. And on this chair, teacher will sit. So the experiment had two roles, teacher and student. So the role is, I am the experimenter. He is a teacher and he is a student. So teacher has to give electric shock to the student. And why? Because student was told to remember some answers, but he doesn't remember. The first wrong answer, he will get shock of 15 watts. Second wrong answer, 30 watts, 60, 120, like this. So I'm telling you the real thing what happened. So the moment teacher asked the first question, student gave wrong answer. Acha, in between, student was the confidant of the experimenter. There was no electric shock given, obviously. You can't do it. Fine. So the student was the confidant of the experimenter, but this person is innocent. He was thinking, I am actually giving the shocks. And he is told that when he presses 15 watts, you jump. And when he presses 80 watts, you cry. You shout like this. So he was just doing drama. So 15 watts, first wrong answer, 30. The moment he started shouting, this teacher turned back to the experimenter and said, "Sir, I think he is going through lots of pain. Can we stop the experiment?" The experimenter said, "No, you continue." Then he continued to 120 watt. He shouted all the more. And then again he said, "Sir, he will die." And the professor said, the experimental said, "It is compulsory for you to continue. Go ahead." You know what was the result of the experiment? 2/3 of the people went to 440 watts. 100% of the people gave electric shocks. This experiment was conducted in US. People couldn't understand. How can people do this? America was stunned because they were saying that, look at the German people, how could you make people suffer? The same, and for your information, the same experiment was conducted in all 6 continents and the result was same. It's called Milgram's experiment, and if you want to see the movie, the name of the movie is The Experimenter. The Experimenter is the name of the movie. Now can you tell me why it happened?
Whenever we see someone is authority, we give them the power.
This is absolutely correct. This is one of the reasons people tend to follow authority figures without giving much thing in their mind. This is one thing. Second reason was, when an order is coming from authority figure and you are following the order, then you feel that the moral responsibility of that act does not belong to you. It is absolutely wrong. It is legally wrong, it is morally wrong, it is spiritually wrong. Your act belongs to you. Your act belongs to you. Whether it is a relationship that senior told you to do something, senior means in relationship. A senior person told you in a relationship to do this to that person and you are doing it, no, the moral responsibility will lie on you. You did it. Make sense? And the third reason was, when people are independent in their thoughts, they said that they will not do this, they will not make people suffer. But the moment they come in any hierarchy, they stop thinking individually. In hierarchical setup, people become followers. And then they think that the moral responsibility doesn't belong to them. And the last was, which I called as Raja Beta syndrome. Raja Beta syndrome. We all were Guru, many of you were Guru in India. How many of you were Guru in India? Fine. Tell me, what is Indic definition of Raja Beta? What do you need to do in India to be a Raja Beta? Exactly. Indic definition of a Raja Beta is obedience. Yes? And Indic definition of a Rani Beti is obedience. You should be well behaved and you should follow your seniors. Yes? So, in our house, when we were small, who was a Raja Beta? Who was following? Parents. When we came to school, who is a Raja Beta? Following teachers. When we came to college, who is Raja Beta? Following professors. Right now I am doing a job, who is Raja Beta? Follow the boss. The Raja Beta syndrome, the Rani Beti syndrome is so deep that in order to get appreciation, we end up doing this also. Make sense? So that's why it becomes very much important for us to know, how should I deal with this moral dilemma? Dilemma between two roles. I'm giving you 4 questions. 5 questions I gave you for ethical dilemma. 4 questions ask yourself and you'll directly get the answer in any moral dilemma case. Whether that banker's case, whether that police officer's case, whether case of anybody. Whenever you are conflicting in 2 roles and you are confused what to do, ask these 4 questions. Question number 1. Think of any moral dilemma you had last time. Don't look towards each other. That person may feel offended. That moral dilemma may feel offended, who is seated next to you. Perfect. Think of it. When was the last time you had a role conflict? it can be any situation if it comes to your mind. Yes, you got some situation? First question is, first two questions remain the same. First is whether your intentions are pure in that. Whether your intentions are pure. Second question, whether your intentions are pure. And second question is, what is in the interest of majority? What is in the interest of majority? And the third question, which is different, is what is the cost of failure in each case? What is the cost of failure in each case? When you fail, like for example that banker, if you fail in relationship or if you fail as a CMD, what is the cost of that failure? Either cost of the failure. For that police officer, if I don't feed my daughter for 1 month, what is the chance? What is the cost of failure? And if I don't go and perform at duty, what is the cost of failure there? And the fourth and the last question, what are the chances of recovery after each failure? In both cases, what are the chances of recovery? And if you see this, you ask these four questions: cost of failure, chances of recovery, your intentions, and larger interest, you will come out of the moral dilemma. Otherwise, you will fall in that. This is what is called Visesha Dharma. And the gift of Visesha Dharma is peaceful sleep. The best pillow to sleep is pure conscience. Now let's go to the third dharma. It is called Guna Dharma. Guna Dharma is character. Now define what is Guna Dharma. Samanya Dharma is what? Applicable to all, at all the places, at all the situations. Visesha Dharma is situational, contextual, relationship specific. Till you are in that role, it is applicable. The moment you leave the role, it's not applicable on that, on you. Then what is Visesha? What is Guna Dharma? What is Guna Dharma? Yes, your own nature. Like Guna Dharma or character of sugar is sweet. Sugar's character is sweet. So here, everybody has different Guna Dharma. Some are extrovert, some are introvert, some are aggressive, some are passive. So in this hall, let me ask you whether you understood the concept or not. How many Guna Dharmas are there in this hall? Exactly. Equal to the number of people. If there are 50 people, 50 Guna Dharmas. Clear? How many Visesha Dharmas are there in this hall? Huh? Relatively few. Fine. Like husband, wife, profession, boss, subordinate. These are Visesha. All the roles. Maybe 10, 12 roles. So 12 Visesha Dharmas, 60 Guna Dharma. How many Samanya Dharmas are there? Now it's clear. There is one Samanya Dharma applicable to all. There are 10 Visesha Dharmas and there are 60, 70 Guna Dharmas. Guna Dharma is your character. It's your character. And Krishna says, follow your character. Fine. So how will you know what is your Guna Dharma? There are two questions that you need to ask. Three questions. If you want to know what is your Guna Dharma, first question, what do you love the most? Like for example, let me answer it for myself. I love traveling the most. I love meeting people. I love reading the most. I love writing the most. These are the things which I love the most. So it's my Guna Dharma. What do you love the most? Sports. Perfect. What do you love the most? Herbal medicines. What do you love the most? Yes, you? Yep.
Taking care of my family.
Perfect. Traveling. This is first question. Second, what comes naturally to you? You don't need to strive hard. It comes very naturally to you. For some people, that thing becomes very difficult, but for you, it comes naturally for you. Like for example, to make it more easy for you, what are your strength areas? Areas in which you are really strong. You may be saying you can answer communication skills, problem solving skills, connecting with people. So what are your strength areas? What are your strength areas? Perfect. What are your strength areas? Being kind to everybody. So everybody has their own strength areas you can write. So what do you love the most? What are your strength areas? And what comes naturally to you? You don't need to strive hard for it. It becomes you. Fine? You automatically flow. Answer these 3 questions and see the consolidated answer. It is your Guna Dharma. Make sense? And Krishna says, this is called your disposition. This is who you are. Now you should choose a profession which should meet your Guna Dharma. If you choose a profession which does not meet your Guna Dharma, you will suffer because you are not aligning to the Dharma. You are an extrovert person. You like to travel. Now you became a chartered accountant. You can't talk. The moment you start talking, you will reveal things. So now your Guna Dharma, your profession and disposition are not marrying. You won't be that happy in life. Because you are not aligning to the Dharma. The rule remains the same. Material, cell, cosmic bodies, the same rule applies. Follow your Dharma. Identify your Guna Dharma and choose the profession accordingly. You don't need to work for a single day ever in life. I don't remember I have to work every single day in life. And many people ask, why don't you feel that much jet lag? Because I am doing what I love to do. Jet lag is a force, and what I am doing is a greater force than that. So when you love what you do, jet lag doesn't work on you. So it is when you follow your Swadharma. So what is the definition of Swadharma? Now let me put it. Samanya Dharma plus Visesha Dharma plus Guna Dharma is equal to Swadharma. So when Krishna says to Arjuna, Arjuna, follow your Swadharma, what Krishna is saying? Arjuna, fighting for right is Samanya Dharma. You are a Kshatriya, it is your Visesha Dharma to fight. And you are born to fight. You know nothing other than bowing, archery. It is your character. So all 3 are there. It means fighting is your Swadharma. Go and fight. Hatovas prapyasi swargam jitva bhokshase mahim tasmat utthisth kaunteya yuddhaya kritnishya. So even if you die, even if you don't do well, in following your Swadharma, you will be at least happy. Prapasi swargam. Swargam is a state of mind. You will be happy. Jitva bhokshase mahim. If you do well, you will have all the prosperity in the world. It means you will be either successfully happy or you will be happily unsuccessful, but you will be happy for sure because you are following your Swadharma. Make sense? So these 3, that's why I get up, O son of Kunti, and fight with determination. So this is what is Dharma, and this is how should we live. So now let me have a quick test. If there is a conflict between Samanya Dharma and Visesha Dharma, which Dharma should I follow? Yes. If there is a conflict between Samanya Dharma and Visesha Dharma, I should follow what? Samanya Dharma. Samanya Dharma can never be compromised. And if there is a conflict between Visesha Dharma and Guna Dharma, which should I follow? Exactly. Like for example, I am a fan of Arijit Singh. How many of you? Perfect. Let's say, for example, you are a fan of Arijit Singh and Arijit Singh has a concert in your state, in your city, and you got the tickets in the first row. You're so happy and delighted. This is the day you were waiting for. Arijit Singh coming, it means it is in line with your Guna Dharma. You are a music fan. But the moment you entered your house, your daughter, who is of 5 years old, has a maths test. And you teach her maths. Daughter caught hold of your finger and said, Papa, please teach me maths because tomorrow I have an exam and if I will fail, it will be very difficult for me. I will feel insulted. Let's say your daughter is 7, 8 years old, whatever. Now your Guna Dharma is saying, go and enjoy the concert. But your Visesha Dharma as a father is saying, teach your daughter. What will you do? That's it. That's it. Like you are very much non-violent in nature, it is your character, it is your Guna Dharma. And Lokmanya Tilak writes in his Bhagavad Gita that you are a non-violent as your Guna Dharma, but you are going through the market and somebody is insulting your mother. What should you do then? Exactly. It's because you need to compromise your Guna Dharma to establish what is Visesha Dharma. No doubt about it. Without doubt, leave Guna Dharma when Visesha Dharma calls. And without doubt, leave Visesha Dharma when Samanya Dharma calls. But never leave Dharma. The moment you leave Dharma, the same Dharma will perish you. So God is such a governing principle. If you are aligned, God will work with you. If you are not aligned, the same God will perish you. So it's that thing. Yes, go ahead. Okay, so just to a bigger summary, how like you know that in India, for the first time ever, Supreme Court judges called for a press conference. You remember how many of you know that? Supreme Court judges called for a press conference ever in 75 years of history of India. Why did they do it? Because they found that whatever is happening in Supreme Court was not okay. They raised their voice to the Chief Justice, but Chief Justice did not listen. So what happened is, their Visesha Dharma was saying, follow the senior. But their Samanya Dharma was asking for that whole nation, trust us for justice. And it is Samanya Dharma that we should uphold justice. So they followed Samanya Dharma. They called for a press conference. That what should we do this? This is the situation. Always go for Samanya Dharma. The moment you compromise it, life will be compromised. Do I make sense? So we, just to summarize what we discussed is, first, what is Dharma? Natural order of the universe. What is Ishwara? Laws that govern the natural order. Dharma in material body is called physics. Dharma in your physical body is called biology. Dharma in cosmic bodies is cosmology. Dharma in society is called ethics. And this Dharma is threefold. Samanya Dharma, Visesha Dharma and Guna Dharma. Samanya Dharma is called what? Ethics. Visesha Dharma is called morality. Guna Dharma is called character. Samanya Dharma universally applicable to all the people at all the places at all the times. Examples of Samanya Dharma: truth, honesty, non-violence, integrity. These are Samanya Dharma. How will you know what is Samanya Dharma? Ask 5 questions. First, what is, whether your intentions are correct? Is it in the interest of majority? In the long run, the results will be good. 4th is sustainable. 5th is acceptable to me if it happens to me. Result of this is pure conscience. No guilt. We did whatever was right and we'll see it further. Don't bother about it. That accountant is accounting it. Don't worry. Then comes Visesha Dharma. It's role specific, context specific, situation specific. Till you are in the role, it will apply on you. And we discussed that the bigger problem is the role conflicts. How will you deal with it? 4 questions. First, intentions. Second, interest of the majority. 4th, third, the cost of failure in each case. And 4th is the chances of recovery after such a failure. And with this, whatever answer comes to you, follow it and follow your Visesha Dharma. When you follow your Visesha Dharma, there is no guilt, no repentance. And third is Guna Dharma. It is your own character. How will you know? First, what you love to do, what comes automatically to you, and what are your strength areas, and then choose a character, choose a profession. Your disposition should meet your profession. You will never have to work. Automatically life becomes a cakewalk. So your Guna Dharma, the Samanya Dharma, Visesha Dharma plus Guna Dharma equals to Swadharma. So Krishna says Arjuna that all of us should follow our Swadharma in life. Because if you are aligned to Dharma, you will perform. but you are not aligned to dharma, you perish. So dharma will work with you or against you. The choice is ours. That's why the life is absolutely a choice. If there is a conflict between Samanya Dharma and Visesha Dharma, what should be compromised? Visesha Dharma should be compromised, not Samanya Dharma. And if there is a choice between Guna Dharma and Visesha Dharma, what should be compromised? Guna Dharma. When nation calls, it's a Visesha Dharma. Leave your comfort and go and fight for what is right. So the point is, but in any case, never compromise Samanya Dharma, otherwise life will become difficult. And every moment, Dharma doesn't come and stop you, it's a choice. We are born by chance, we die by chance, but in between everything is a choice. Thank you very much. Yes. Now the questions are welcome.
So I know in the beginning when you were talking about, like, when you ask people whether they believe in God or something, and when you're calling dharma, there are these two concepts which is very much afloat, like spirituality and religious, right? They want to say, oh, we're not religious, but we're spiritual, or vice versa. So where does this concept of dharma lie, and how do we define these two in general, Vedas or Vedas or whatever?
Look, spirituality means ritual of spirit is called spirituality. Fine. As per Kathopanishad, there are only two parameters to tell you whether you are spiritual or not. Parameter number 1. Kathopanishad, chapter 2, Valli 3. First parameter. And ask this from within you. Yama tells to Nachiketa, if you are spiritual, then first thing will happen to you. Your sphere of love should expand. You should love everybody. The greater the sphere of love, the more spiritual you are. If you differentiate between the people under the same roof, you are being not honest with yourself. It's not spirituality. You are dishonest with yourself. Your sphere of love should expand. Your definition of self should include everybody. And when will it expand? Forgiveness. Asking and giving. Forgetting the people, learning the lesson. Forgiving the people, learning lessons. Expand the sphere of love. Second parameter, your sphere of fear should shrink. You should become fearless about everything. If you have fear, it means you are not spiritual. Means the degree. Yoga shema vahamyaham. If you really trust the higher, then forget about everything else. So sphere of love should expand. Sphere of fear should shrink. These are the two parameters Yama tells Nachiketa in Kathopanishad, chapter 2, Valli 3. This is spirituality. Very simply defined. What is religion? So religion has rituals in it. Fine. Those rituals